Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Lego Speed Champions McLaren Formula 1 Team 2023 McLaren Formula 1 car. This is set number 76919. It has 245 pieces and I paid $27 for this set. So this is one of the new Speed Champions. I believe these officially release on March 1st. I was able to get some of these new Speed Champions early. I'm not part of the Lego Ambassador Network. I'm not sponsored by any company that would send me early copies of sets or anything like that. I was just able to find some of these sets early, and that happens now and then on my channel. And I really love Speed Champions. I collected, I think, all of the 8 wide, some of the 6 wide I've gone back and looked at, but I really like the 8 wide ones, and part of the reason I really liked them was because of their apparent value. Now, since I've been looking at the 8 wides, they were $20 for a single car, then $25 for a single car, and now we're up to $27 for a single car. That sort of eliminates potentially one of the big drawing points for me to this line, which is the value proposition, but I still think there's some of the better or more interesting building techniques, piece usages, and design stuff in this scale that I still really appreciate. So I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look at this one and the Mustang and the Audi that came out alongside of this that I do all have and do have gotten them early, and maybe after I look at them I can kind of assess how I'll feel about the value proposition. The other thing to note is that I think historically it's been somewhat common to be able to find Speed Champions on sale. It's just that 20% off of $20 or $25, is different than $27. But either way, I did decide to pick these up. And so in this video, I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this brand new Lego Speed Champions 2023 McLaren F1 car, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. So we start out here with a chassis, not the traditional chassis of an 8-wide Speed Champion, a little smaller one, which is due to its nature as an F1 vehicle with a little interesting shape, or a more unique shape than what I would say like a road vehicle is. And we use some pieces I haven't seen in some Speed Champion sets and sets in general. I think there's some new pieces in here. There's some printed pieces, some specialized pieces, and all of that really works for me. There's also a lot of stickers. So a good part of this build process is going to be, putting a couple pieces together, maybe putting a sub-assembly together, and then applying stickers. I think I did a pretty good job applying the stickers. I don't think I made any serious errors that I needed to pull them back off or needed to use the Windex method, which is still a method I've never used here. Putting together this front kind of bumper area, I don't know what this is called, in front of the front wheels, it was super enjoyable. That was an excellent little kind of sub-assembly, and so were the kind of side panel details, or what really lend this vehicle its shape. They do a lot here. There's some kind of upside down building, studs on the side building, interesting piece usages. It came together really good, and putting these onto the kind of chassis and the finished model was so satisfying. Then we work on the kind of wing, or like the spoiler at the rear, and finally we will attach the tires, which are also super cool and really nice. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the brand new Lego Speed Champions 2023 McLaren Formula 1 car. This is really something. And it's going to be interesting to talk about the value when I get there, which I usually cover towards the end of the video after I've kind of gone over everything, because in considering that, I am going to have to take into account some things that I guess I wasn't positive I was going to need to take into account. And I think I'll likely still say I wish these were not have, I wish this one and probably the other ones didn't have a price increase. There might be some argument to say that this is justified here, but I'm not going to get into that right now. That's just a little bit of a teaser, and we'll get into everything that's in this set. And the first thing we'll look at is the minifigure, because you do get one, and we have a McLaren Formula 1 driver. So printed helmet up here, kind of a nice visor in a kind of a unique color. I don't see that often, but getting that McLaren print on the visor is very nice. And very basic face there, no alternate face, but they do have a alternate hairpiece in here, which is always good to get. And we have the big wrench that is also the accessory. Then looking at the rest of this, we have this nice printing here. It says McLaren up at the top. Again, it has the logo, a little bit of color on the sides, and that's fine. Nothing on the arms, nothing on the midsection except for just a little bit on the edge. These kind of very little pop of color on the left and right side. So there is a little bit on the midsection, and then nothing really on the legs except for, that continues down here on the legs. So that's good. There is printing all the way through, even if it's not super detailed. Nothing on the arms there. Looking at the back, we can see it says McLaren here and has the logo. Color scheme is the same. We do have a little bit of hints of color there. So that is very good. I think for me, this is a fine minifigure. It's kind of plain, but it has some good stuff. The production quality doesn't look that bad to me, like this orange that's put on top of this kind of grayish, greenish, whatever, it feels okay, so I don't mind that at all. I'm really happy to get the printed helmet. I think that's very good, so that's nice. And I always appreciate when they include an extra hairpiece for when the character might not have a helmet on. And then the rest of the build is this McLaren Formula 1 car, and this is awesome. I don't know. I think there was, in the last couple years, there was a Speed Champion 8-wide Formula 1 in the AMG Mercedes set. I believe so. I'm not positive, but it's not the type of car that I see featured in Speed Champions all that often. I've seen Formula E. We've seen I can't remember what that long dragster was. And I don't know. There've been a lot of different kind of vehicles in the Speed Champion line, but this one's really cool. And there's a few reasons why. One is I have the big Technic McLaren Formula 1 car, which I believe was 2021 or 2022. So it had slightly different, decals, slightly different sponsors, or I don't know if they call it the livery or whatever. It looked slightly different, but this does share a lot of similarities as well. And I just have to say, this was a incredibly enjoyable build. Now, I think I tend to find Speed Champions enjoyable most of the time, some more than others. This really, really surprised me, and I'm kind of in awe of what they were able to do here. So there's a lot to look at with this vehicle. And one of the first things I'll point out, like a Speed Champions, many Speed Champions, especially, these kind of cars that have lots of sponsors, have a lot of stickers. This set has a lot of stickers. It doesn't have as many stickers as it could have, because there are some special printed pieces as well. But you can see the sticker sheet here. There's some duplicate ones, like 2 number 6 there, 2 number 8, 2 number 12, 14, 15. So those are duplicates, and this goes up to number 26. So you're looking at probably 30 or so stickers, and they have some interesting shapes, but that's okay. And I'll kind of point those out as I go. You should be able to see them, and it might be worthwhile pointing out the ones that are not stickers, because there could have potentially been more stickers in this set, because there are some printed pieces that I did not expect. But just looking at the side here, we have a sticker right up at the front. There's a sticker right here with the Google Chrome sticker inside of there. The DeWalt is a sticker, McLaren sticker. This is a sticker. This is a sticker. Sticker back there. This is a sticker on the side. This piece is printed, but the chrome is a sticker. Looking at the top, we have one sticker here. Of course, these ones on the front. This is a sticker right here. Same for the Splunk, for the Cisco, for the Aero. That's all of a sticker. There's one back here. At the back, this Dark Trance is a sticker, as well as so are these there. And going to the other side, it's very much the same. So we have the Hilton one down here. That is a sticker. The chrome one on this angled piece that also has printed elements. The 60 with the McLaren logo back there, the Aero, Cisco, Splunk, this one here, Cadence, this one, McLaren, DeWalt, Richard Mille, DP World, all of those are stickers. So a good amount of stickers there, but that's so. But while I'm here, I'll point out the prints as well, because this FX Pro with the McLaren logo up at the front, that is a sticker. This piece right here is this is a print rather. This piece right here is a print, which has kind of all the different sponsors on it. So that is a printed piece. The kind of controls for the steering wheel, steering apparatus and everything, that is printed. This 1x2 tile up here with a couple little dots, that is printed. Over here, like I said, these pieces that are kind of these neat angular pieces there, those are printed. The orange is printed on them, and the OKX or whatever that is printed there. And then the chrome is a sticker, which I thought was interesting to like put stickers on like a printed piece. And so that's kind of interesting. And then the wheels are special for this one. So they have the P0, Pirelli wheels here that are unique to this. Those are dual molded with stuff on the inside. And then the little like hubcap rim piece is also printed with those different colors. So you get 4 of those as well. And I could have seen, the rims or something for this I could have seen them being done with stickers, could have easily seen this be a sticker, and potentially some of this too. But I think to get kind of the orange and blue to wrap around that point, maybe they did that. I don't know the exact reasoning why they would print the OKX and not the Google Chrome thing here, but they have their reasons. So a lot of stickers, but I love the way this all looks. It's super detailed. It's super cool. And the stickers didn't bother me that much. I actually thought the pace of them was okay, all things considered. Like if you go into the Speed Champions line, I think it's safe to assume there'll be a lot of stickers. And yeah, there were a lot of stickers here, but it does really elevate the overall design there. So I don't mind that at all. And now that we've talked about the stickers and the prints, I'll kind of get into the build of this, because this is such an interesting build, interesting looking car. We do start with a chassis down here. It is not like the 8-wide Speed Champion chassis that I imagine, like, I don't know if the Audi will. I think the dark Mustang one will, but I'm not sure. So this one uses a different style like chassis there, and you start out building kind of the whole core of this. And for the most part, it is like 4 wide roughly. I would say the most of it is like right here. And so then you add in a bit to taper up the front. We add in some different stuff. I don't know if these are called like struts or different things there, using the bucket handles, the clips. We add a few kind of unique pieces that help kind of get the angles right and the curvature right everywhere there. And so you start really building up this core. And once you've done that, you kind of build out like towards the back. You'll use a few like Technic bricks with a pinhole through them that you can thread an axle through, and you can kind of get that back axle on there. And then moving forward, you build the front. So we have kind of that a Technic piece like peeking out right here that is attached to kind of what's built off the main chassis. And then you do a whole sub-assembly for the front of this. So it's really interesting. This bit right here is only 1 stud wide, and then we get out to like 8 studs, out at the widest there, which is very, very cool. You might think this would be a little bit unstable, but it's not at all. It's designed well, it's built well, so I don't feel bad about that in the least. It has a little bit of a wobble. I don't know if you can see that. It can move a little bit. That's just the nature of having like a Technic brick with the axle hole in here and having just one axle going through there. There's a little bit of give, there's a little bit of tolerance for that, so that's okay. But I loved how this was done. It was a real pleasure to put this all together. And then the next best thing for me, I thought these pieces were attached in an interesting way using a clip and using I don't know if any of them are here, but like the hollow stud with the bar coming off of it kind of underneath there. There's some nice use of some window pieces back here to get this all rounded off, which is very cool. Use a minifigure ski piece right here to get this fin popping out the back, which is very nice. And then we have what I think are some new pieces in this set. And I'm not positive, so you can besides the prints and everything like that, I think there are some new pieces in here. The first one is this tile. I think that's relatively new. If it's not new for this year, then it's maybe from last year or something. This kind of tile that's like a 1x1, and then with the other a 1 1/2 at an angle here. So you have a bunch of those. You have those in orange. You also get those in black up here, which is very nice. And so I think those are a relatively new piece. Another one that I'm almost certain is new, and let's see if I can get access to, is this kind of cheese wedge, but a 1x2. Now this is a piece, it has a sticker on it, but this piece they've done before kind of with the vent or the grate going through it. But this one is actually just at the rear, the same as a cheese wedge, but then has a little more less aggressive slope to it. So it's just spread out over 2 studs instead of 1. And that's a super useful piece. And I believe that is brand new for this. So you do get 2 of those. Unfortunately, you don't get an extra one of those. I would have loved that. But you do get 2 of those. You do put stickers on them. But I think that's a really useful piece. And then you do get a bunch of these pieces here, which I think are relatively new as well, which is kind of like a 1x4, but a slope, and then a cutoff. So you have those in orange and in black, different ones there right here as well. I think the ones up front that have the chrome stickers on them, those are relatively new as well. I can't say for certain whether any or all of these are brand new for this year or this line. I think, in my mind, it seems like some of them might be. This piece, I think, is new, even if it, certainly is with the printing, but it's relatively new there. I definitely think the 1x2 cheese wedge kind of piece is new. And then as far as these tiles that have the angle there, those may not be new for this year. These kind of slope pieces might not be new, but I thought those all kind of stood out to me as pieces I don't see as often, and they really work wonders to make this kind of complete. I think one of the best parts of this is building up the side. You can see we have some studs upside down here, some tiles upside down here on either side. So you build this whole really interesting sub-assembly that really gives this thing body, and you can see how that's all done here. And it just studs onto some bracket pieces there, but in combination with everything, it adds a ton of definition to the shape, the overall kind of angles it needs to cut, and the overall just design there. And I think, you know, both sides are pretty much identical but flipped around. I think that was so smart and so well done. It was just really cool to put together to get some of these shapes achieved, some of these angles achieved. So I really admired that. Looking at the back here, kind of the tail or the spoiler or anything, nothing too crazy back there. I don't think it's all relatively straightforward. If you look at it from the rear, you can kind of see how that's put together, so that's okay. But there's a lot of cool building in here that I haven't, you know, experienced in a little while, because working in this pretty small scale, it takes some real ingenuity, some real knowledge of the system and of the piece inventory, the piece library rather, to kind of be able to figure something like this out. And I think they did a great job. So, you know, this piece up here that has kind of the bar coming off of it and the stud coming off with the angle, like that piece there, they use those stuck in a hollow stud here that then attach to these kind of slopes to get that angle out. So that's very good. Like I said, all the use of the bucket handles here are a nice attention to detail. I love how this is like built upside down and built on the side to attach in there. Really smart all the way through here. The different overlapping layers look really great, and I'm just thoroughly very impressed with this. We can sit a figure in here, so we do have this flexible tubing there. That's just clipped on either side, so you can move that up and down, and the figure can sit in there. And I also already showed there's the printed kind of game controller looking piece that is used for the steering yoke or steering whatever. I think that might be a newish print as well, so cool to get that. And while I'm looking at this, you may have already noticed we do use like spoons for maybe like mirrors or something here, which is very cool. But let me get this character sat down in there. They do sit on like 4 studs at the bottom, so it could be a little bit difficult to get them out. But you know, if you be careful, maybe don't stud them down all the way, that's okay. And we can kind of see that character in there. We get the McLaren logo on the helmet, which is really great. And I think it looks great with the character there. Their arms naturally kind of go right up to the steering yoke, and they're easy enough to get out of there, I would say. You know, sometimes the helmet might come off like that, but I could get them out of there and get them back in pretty easily. Overall, you know, I love Speed Champions. I've been really impressed by a lot of them, and for my mind, it's one of the best themes. And I'm not necessarily a car person, or even, you know, I know a little bit about Formula One. I know a little bit about a very little bit about some vehicles, but it's not my area of expertise. But in Lego form, I love them. Like, I love a lot of the Technic vehicles, and I love some of the Icons level, like bigger vehicles, and there's lots of stuff. But the Speed Champions for me are really special. I think this is so inspiring. It's so sleek and clean and well done, and there wasn't a single element of this that bored me or, you know, bothered me or made me like confused or anything. It's just a super solid modern Lego design, Lego build that I loved every second of it. And that's including all of these stickers. Like, certainly a lot of stickers here. I don't know if it's more or less than some of the ones from the last wave. Like, I thought there was that Porsche that had a lot of stickers as well. But that is kind of not a concern of mine. So I think this is brilliant, and I wanted to start with this one for a few different reasons, and that's because it, I think, had the least amount of pieces out of all the ones that I got. It had, I wanted to see the wheels. I wanted to see how the shape was done. I did want to compare this to the like 112 or 110 scale McLaren F1 car I have in the Technic version. And this really blew me away. Sets a really high bar for this new wave of speed champions, but I think this is really, really terrific, and I can't wait, to be able to play with this and to display this. It's going to fit so well with other Lego Speed Champions. I'm just thoroughly impressed and really, really enjoyed this. So that's really great. I will show the extra pieces here because you do get a good amount. That's pretty common with Speed Champions. There'll be a lot of tiny pieces here, but we will get, let me see here, an extra of the print for the FX Pro and the McLaren logo there, extra of the 1x2 kind of rounded, extra of the visor, the spoon, the bucket handle, this bar piece there, your 1x1s, your tiles, your studs, cheese wedge, all of that good stuff. So good to get those extra pieces. And this set is 245 pieces, one minifigure, and it cost $27. Now, if I never knew about Speed Champion beforehand, and this was just the price that they were for the last couple years, I don't know if that's good or bad. It definitely could be worse. I'm glad it's not worse. But because I'm accustomed a little bit to seeing Speed Champions 8 wide or 6 wide kind of be around like the $20 for one car price, and then for the 2 car packs, maybe there's a little bit of a discount there where it works out to like $17 per or something like that, and it's all depending on piece count and what the licensing and whatever else. But occasionally that was the case for, Dom's Charger, the Aston Martin James Bond car, and like the Countach, and the just a lot of the Speed Champions in the 8 wide. But then for like the Nissan Skyline and the Pagani and the Competizione, the Ferrari, and I think like a Porsche, I think those bumped up to 25. And I wasn't thrilled about that, but they still felt pretty great. They still felt okay. Now we're up a little bit more. And if I am correct about having a lot of new pieces in here, and like considering the prints and whatever licensing with all of these different companies that they might have to do, I actually don't know if they have to license with everything to be put on here, because I think those contracts are with like the McLaren F1 team, and then Lego just goes through them. I'm not positive how it works, but there certainly is a lot of branding and co-branding here, and so I don't know how that affects the price, but because of like some of the other ones, like even the Mustang, which I don't think has as much or nearly as much co-branding or anything like that, that one's still $27. I don't love that. I don't like it. I made a kind of a stink about the Microfighter in Star Wars and the Star Wars mechs being $16. Occasionally I'll make a stink about like a $10 box in City or Friends being $11 or something like that. I'm just a little bit critical of Lego's pricing, the Lego Group's kind of pricing theories. And I think these sets were so incredible at $20. It makes it, for me, in my mind, the $20 price point is a better impulse buy price point. Makes it like a considerable amount more accessible to people of all ages and all kind of financial kind of situations. So I really think the $20 price point was like super good for these, and maybe that was too good to be true, but that is the level that Lego set initially, and then going up to 25, I wasn't thrilled about it. I'd have to go look in my other reviews and see if I was very much anti that, go back to $20 or something. And now, considering everything else and the value of international currencies and just the value of other things, 27 feels bad, but it might only be in comparison to previous prices. So if I'm used to getting this car for 25, or I'm used to getting this car for 20, the same set, without any, decrease in quality, without any decrease in the amount of prints or special pieces or design effort or anything like that, if I'm used to this being $20 or $25, then 27 doesn't feel very good. But if I never knew that these were cheaper, and I would pick this up, I don't know how I would feel. Like, in raw Lego form, this doesn't feel great as a $27 set, because there are other $30 sets, which is just a couple dollars more in like the city line or stuff that might have 2 vehicles or just have a good amount of more pieces, more minifigures and stuff, but it also doesn't feel crazy. So I think that's a little long-winded for me to say I'm not thrilled about it, but I think I understand it, and I wish they would revert it. But I don't know if Lego really liked people saying, this is an incredible value theme, this is an incredible value set. And I wish they did like that. Some of their sets are good value, some of them are fine value, some of them I think are bad value, frankly. And I would hate for Speed Champions to become ones that are bad value, but initially I thought that they were kind of some of the better value here, and maybe this is just evening it out a little bit, which is unfortunate, but the reality. So I haven't kind of really synthesized what my exact thoughts are, and I think it's going to evolve as I look at the Audi and the Mustang and I think it's a Mustang, right? Yeah, and then also the BMW 2-pack. I think my feelings about this might evolve, and it might change, but we will kind of see. And maybe in the future Lego will release Speed Champions again for 25 or less than that. Maybe they'll do it for 22 or something, and I would certainly welcome that. But I don't know. I haven't seen any formal statements from the Lego group about why. I don't know if they necessarily do that kind of stuff. So I'm just not sure about this yet. What I can say, regardless of the apparent value proposition, is that this was an amazing build. This is really, really, really cool. And I think the end model is just fantastic. So at the very least, I love that for this. It's a great scale, great piece usages, looks great as a finished product. The build was super fun. So if I can remove the value discussion for a minute, I think this is like an A+ set. And I'll have to ruminate a little more about the value as I go forward and as I look at some of the other Speed Champions releasing alongside this. So that is my feelings for this. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded, but it's a lot to take in, a lot to try to figure out as I'm kind of going through this. Love this build. Can't wait to look at the other Speed Champions. So very, very good. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including the other Speed Champions that we're releasing alongside of this that are coming out, I think, March 1st, 2024. I was able to get them early, so the Mustang, the Audi, the BMW one, look out for those videos, but then tons of other videos from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming Lego videos. And if you want to support this channel, support my videos here, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And you can get access to all of my videos early, get access to some exclusive videos and some other stuff. So if you're interested in that, maybe consider checking it out. Every little bit helps. So thank you very much. Thank you anybody who watches, likes, subscribes. I appreciate it. And with all of that said, until next time, Thanks. Bye.